morning from tomorrow. As you can see, it is a whole lot cooler today, about 25 degrees cooler today, and we are up by the Castillo de St. George, and that's the big castle on top of the hill overlooking the water. We just had some breakfast, and now we're going to try to find a taxi and head out of this little old town area down to the water and over to a couple of UNESCO World Heritage sites where we're going to wrap up our time in Lisbon on a beach, I hope, if the sun pops out. But right now we're in these little back alleys and we're trying to find a taxi, so wish us luck here. Alright guys, so just a little explanation as to why we didn't go inside the castle. Some locals explained to us that not only do you have to pay $10 or $12 each to go in, but once you're inside the castle walls, there is no castle. All of the bricks and stuff that was in there has been removed and brought down here along the river and used for construction projects. So really the only thing that you could do in the castle is walk around the walls of the castle and get a view of the city, which, as they also explained to us, you can get much better views from like 5 or 6 other places in the city, all of which we've been going to. We showed you some yesterday, and now we'll show you some today. But yeah, that's the thing. You just check with the locals and they'll explain to you it's just a ripoff. It's not worth doing the castle. So now we're back down here by the water, and we're gonna see if we can't find the Belem area, where supposedly there's a couple of UNESCO World Heritage sites that are worth checking out. All that algae in there is like a feast for them, I guess. Yeah. Look at that. That is the greenest, most algae water I've ever seen. Swim again so I can see the trail.
And drinks? No, thank you. Okay, thank you.
It's a pizza pit stop.
Oh my gosh. Maybe?
This is the monastery? Damn, that's big. Alright, we made it to the Jeronimos Monastery. This thing is huge. I didn't expect it to be this big. It was built in memory of, who did I say? Well, I'm gonna have to start this over. I forgot the name of the guy.
Somebody wanted.
Alright guys, we are at the Jeronimos Monastery. It is built in memory of Prince Henry the Navigator. That's right, I keep forgetting his name. It is a 15th century monastery, and it's built right here by the port of Lisbon, so it's known as the gateway to Lisbon. And I guess what makes it real famous is a bunch of maritime carvings and things like that. So we're gonna see how long this line is to get in and check it out here. I don't know if you can film in there, we'll have to see. But wow, the size of this thing is insane. I didn't expect it to be this huge. Look at this. All the way back down there. Look at that Each one of these little columns, Alyssa said, is completely different design from the next one. And so far we haven't seen two that are even remotely alike. So it cost us $10 to get in here, and each, but it was really worth it. This is very, very impressive. You know we're not very religious people, so as far as that goes, it's fine. But you know, we'll visit a church, a temple, a monastery, a mosque. It doesn't matter to us. But this one is very, very impressive, especially for a monastery. Some of these carvings on the walls are just spectacular. It is really, really nice in here. Definitely the highlight of Lisbon so far. I would definitely recommend stopping in here because I like it. For an extra $1, you get to come in here and see the sacristy. Alright, so whether you're religious or not, that was definitely a very impressive monastery. From the size outside, you would think you'd be able to see more on the inside, but they got you pretty much in 2 sections. And the church being one of them was very, very impressive over there. That was a pretty impressive looking. The whole architecture and the carvings on the wall, everything is really, really cool. Definitely the highlight of Lisbon so far for me. Now we're going to go to the Belem Tower, the next World Heritage Site, UNESCO World Heritage Site over here. Alright guys, this 16th century tower behind me is the Tower of Belem, and it's considered the entry point to Lisbon and Portugal. And this is where the explorers would come and go from back in the day. This was their port, this is how they know they were here, they'd find this tower. So this is kind of a historical entry point and a modern entry point, because right up the road here, just about a block or two, is where the cruise ships come in. So some things never change. So around this tower here, there's a really big park with a bunch of lawns where people are just laying out. There's a few food stalls, and most people are just hanging out in the grass looking over the view here, which is pretty cool. And then we've got this is I think it's part of the aviation museum behind us here. They're cleaning it right now. Sorry guys, let me make a correction. That's not a museum, it's a combat memorial. And if you check along the walls over there, they have the names of all the soldiers that died on the wall. So that's my fault. Correction. Alright, so over here you can see the Belem Tower, you got the bridge behind it, and way back there you've got the Christ the Redeemer statue. So in this one spot here you can pretty much see all the highlights of the town here. Alright guys, so we finally made it to the beach. It's not the most spectacular beach in the world, but it is a beach, and there's a few locals around here. It's not too busy. There's a bunch of sailboats out there, and the weather is a little bit cloudy, but the rain held out. We made it. So I think now this is the perfect way to end our trip. We're just going to spend a little while sitting here on the beach, enjoying the breeze, listening to the waves crash, and thinking about our trip. Alright, so this is not just our last day in Portugal, but this is our last day of our European adventure. It's been 3 months. Started out and did the Balkans, Greece, and then we headed through Western Europe and hit 15 different countries on this trip. So we are a little bit exhausted and ready to head home. Tomorrow is the big day. We fly back to the US. We get to see some family for a few weeks and got a bunch of business to take care of. So we're gonna leave you guys here right now while we enjoy these last few hours on the beach, and then we'll see you guys from, I believe, Santa Fe, where we're gonna wrap up this trip and tell you everything, our feelings, our thoughts about everything we did while we were here. So till then, thank you guys so much for joining. We hope you guys enjoyed the trip with us. Subscribe, because we got much more coming up in the near future. We'll see you guys soon.